Today's match is brought to you by Direct Waste Management Limited and Orca Telecom. Clachnacuddin underway this evening. A rearranged tie for a nice balmy evening in March as well. Conditions not bad in Inverness, even if there's a bit of nip in the air as Clach look to get going once more. It's Martin laying in possession. Nice out to the far side. Lily White's looking to assert the control early in the game. Martin Callum forward for Kyle White. Paul Brindle gets to it. Brindle. Lang's made the run forward. Martin Lang gets a shot away. An early test for Robert Donaldson down low. Lang might have felt he could have done better on that occasion. Here come Fort William with the break on now. It's Ian McLennan. Done well to get away from Morrison. McLennan tries the shot. Well held from John Campbell. It's good defending from David McGurk. And eventually, here come Clach up the near side with Lang. Square ball looking for Brindle. Out comes the goalkeeper, Ronald Donaldson. And it's a comfortable take in the end for the Fort William goalkeeper. Already the signs are good. We're in for a game this evening. Now Skinner. Knocked out towards the direction of Brindle. Clach get it back again with Martin Lang, who tries his luck and makes it 1-0. A terrific strike from Martin Lang. Well, I thought Robert Donaldson had it covered, but the ball bobbled over the top of the goalkeeper. And that's a goal that Martin Lang will treasure. But I'm not too sure Robert Donaldson will look back on it with much joy. And Clach lead by a 0-0. Finnis is the man who comes away with the ball, and he sets Clachnacuddin running off on the far side. Out comes the goalkeeper. Had to be spot on. Morrison sent forward, taken down well by Brindle. Brindle done ever so well. Teeing off Skinner, not too far away from Skinner. Over the crossbar it went though. Brindle doing well to hold the ball up, winning a free kick in the process too, is William Gemmell penalised for the foul. Oh, Lang might fancy at the back post. It was McGurk who went for it originally. And it comes from Morrison. Deep ball towards the back post. Kyle White lurking. So too McGurk. Might fall for Brindle. And wickedly wide of Robert Donaldson's right hand post. Good effort from Brindle. Aaron Quigg doing well to win the ball back, and in turn knocks it forward only for Morrison to cut out with the chest. Campbell tees up McLennan. Fort might be in here. Ian McLennan takes his time. Thinks about the shot, blocked in the end. Scott-Woodhouse inside to Clachnacuddin. Now Martin Lang. Lang over the top for Woodhouse. Woodhouse looks up, swings in the cross. Quigg is there. So too is White. White heads on, and Donaldson makes a save. His first real piece of action since conceding the goal. Mackay tries to stop Bachi Clachnacuddin. Does so effectively, knocks it forward for Campbell. Campbell will give chase up against Gordy Morrison. Duncan Campbell doing well, holding up Morrison, drilling in the shot. And it comes deep towards the back post. Oh, Campbell can't get there. And with the aid of his post, manages to get the ball away to safety. For Campbell. Campbell looking to get turned. Drills the shot towards goal. Looked like a cross though. Morrison. In fact, it's almost a shot as Donaldson punches clear. Swung in. And met by Morrison. And he really should have done better from that distance. Gordy Morrison, we've seen him score so many over the years. Ian Polworth will be over the moon so far with the efforts of his players. Up goes McGurk. Jumps well. Kyle White. Bombing forward is Dachi Clachnacuddin. Doing ever so well down the near side. And it comes from Lang. Knocked away to safety. Only it's for a Skinner once more. And that's the second time this evening that Andrew Skinner has met the ball. McGurk's there. Goes back to his goalkeeper. Might be short. Campbell on his toes to make sure it doesn't reach McLennan. McLennan and away to safety. Come Fort. Mackay does well to win the ball on the far side and keep it in possession. In goes McLennan once more. Not past the great wall of Gordy Morrison. And it's thumped forward by Morrison. Might be a great ball in the end as Brindle looks to get on the end of it. Still Brindle wrestled to the ground by Andrew Martin. Well, that was WWF style from Martin. Everyone in Grant Street Park awaits Gordy Morrison's strike. It eventually does go through, saved well by Donaldson. Finnis is there, trying to pick up the scraps. Skinner looks up, plays the ball out towards the far side. Scott-Woodhouse tried to link up with Martin Lang, the goal scorer. Lang eventually gives the ball back to Woodhouse. That's a lovely ball for Cushnesvili. He'll get going into the penalty box, looking for Brindle. Brindle, can he get his shot away? He can't. It's blocked out. Brindle gets a second bite at the cherry. And it falls back to Skinner, who tries his luck for the third time this evening. Looking for Brindle. In goes Martin Lang. Great ball from Martin Lang. Kyle White's onside. Kyle White tries to nip it over the goalkeeper, and it's gone behind for a goal kick. Well, Donaldson did well to narrow the angle and tried to put White off. White did his job of getting the ball over the goalkeeper. White. Over the top for McLennan to chase. Tidied up well by McGurk. Lang. One touch from Clark, and Kyle White gets some joy down this near side. White squirting the ball for Brindle. Back to White. It'll fall for Martin. Callum! Oh, that's a wonderful strike from Callum! A swerving shot that had Robert Donaldson beaten all ends up. And when it was Brindle and White trying to conjure something up for Clark, it was Martin Callum who kept his run going and beat Donaldson with a stunning strike. Clark lead Fort by 2-0. Lang. Callum, the two goal scorers linking up. Now it's White. Michael Finnis. Back to Martin Lang. Oh, Cushnesvili might be in here. It's Dachi Cushnesvili for number 3. Back to Paul Brindle, the goalkeeper, all over the place. And Paul Brindle knocks it in for number 3. Well, it's Dachi Cushnesvili who looked to get the shot away. Donaldson come out of his goals, and the ball ricocheted all over the place, only for Paul Brindle to tap it in to an almost empty net. And in the space of 90 seconds, Clach have gone from a 1-goal lead to a 3-goal lead. It's Clachnacuddin 3, Fort William 0. Ford get us underway in the second 45. We have to fancy Clachnacuddin to claim all 3 points this evening. They lead at half time by 3-0, but football's a funny old game, as they say. You never just know, but your money surely has to be on Ian Polworth's men claiming all 3 this evening. Now it's Andrew Skinner to Dachi Cushnesvili, inside to Martin Lang. This time it is a foul. Keith Miller, the guilty man, sliding in on Martin Lang, the former Cali Thistle man, and Dachi Cushnesvili, and once more Gordy Morrison are behind this one. And I tell you what, Gordy Morrison fancies his chances from this one. A good 35 yards out. Cushnesvili is behind it, but there's only going to be one free kick taker on this occasion, and it ain't Cushnesvili. Gordy Morrison strikes it. Not the best from Gordy Morrison, and Cushnesvili, I think, inquires to Morrison and says, "Oh, why did you not leave that for me? You'll get the next one," is the shout from Gordy Morrison. I think he's been saying that all night. Now Morrison wrestled to the ground. Is Finnis. Play on, says Elder. Finnis once more in there again. This time the feet were grabbed of Finnis by Michael Gillespie and helped over to the ground, and the yellow card is flashed. Morrison with the free kick. McGurk was jumping, goes through to Donaldson. And he manages to get a hold of the ball at the second time of asking. Oh, Brindle might be in here. Brindle's in behind the Fort defence, and it's Paul Brindle. Well, he did ever so well to evade the offside trap and the Fort defence, but just unlucky as he poked the ball beyond Donaldson, but not that near post. It's short from Lang to Cushnesvili. Now Lang gets his cross in. Up went Kyle White, and just unable to direct his header goalwards. Gemmell, good ball. McLennan might get some joy here. On back in search of Quigg, over the top for McLennan. He's got the better of Morrison so far. It's Ian McLennan, stopped in his tracks by Morrison and turned behind for a corner. Great ball out the right back Scott-Woodhouse, and his shot, strikes the woodwork. I'm not too sure if it was a shot instead of a cross, but I'm sure if that had gone in, Scott-Woodhouse would have taken the credit for it. But it came back off the woodwork. Gillespie. This is out to Woodhouse. Lovely through brawl. Brindle was onside. Miller knocks out to the far side to Treasurer. He does well to beat his man. And it comes from John Treasurer. Michael Ellis, the trialist, was the target. And it's eventually knocked away to safety. Forward by Morrison. Out comes the goalkeeper. Gets it at the second attempt. Well, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say the floodlights got in his eyes as he tried to claim the ball. And he eventually did get it. Kyle White goes down, yellow card, and the red card comes out for Keith Miller. A nasty looking challenge, and Keith Miller is off. Well, he heads into the dugout for a jacket. He'll have to head for an early bath in a minute. Graham Elder, no hesitations, a nasty looking tackle, and it's a second yellow for Keith Miller. And just when Fort looked to steady the ship and try to find a way back into the game, the sending off of the midfielder certainly hasn't helped things. Launched forward, out comes Donaldson. Managed to punch all the way out of his box, eventually helped on by his defenders. Skinner's up to try to head on. McLennan. Fort really up against it now as Gordy Morrison comes out of his own half with the ball. It's Brindle chipping the ball in. Headed on by Woodhouse, and his header just wouldn't dip down. Daci skips inside. Picks out McDonald. It's Ryan McDonald on the far side. Cross whipped in. Brindle with the header. It's Scott Morrison. Now Callum looking on the far side for Morrison. No offside flag, but the ball eventually trickles through to Campbell. Knocked forward. Now it's Lang. Inside to Callum. Score of the second. Lang's continued his run. Callum fancies his chances. James Mackay gets going down the near side for Fort. Ryan McDonald for Clach. Martin Lang's inside. Finds Martin Lang. It's Martin Lang. Here's Martin Lang. Daci squares for Woodhouse. Back inside to Daci. Helped on by Ellis. James Mackay might have sprung the offside trap here. That's a vital interception from Struan Scott-Woodhouse. He's been everywhere for Clach this evening. Scott-Woodhouse wants it. The through ball is for Morrison, but the offside flag is up. It might have been a better option to play the ball through to Scott-Woodhouse. As Michael Ellis tries to get going, but Lang wins it back. Slides it through for Kushnashvili. Good save at his near post from the goalkeeper. Still on for Kushnashvili as he squares the ball for Struan Scott-Woodhouse. Well, he has deserved that goal. Struan Scott-Woodhouse. Kushnashvili blocked at the first attempt. Picked up the ball, squared for Scott-Woodhouse, and it's a simple tap in for the Clach right back. Kushnashvili picks up, drills towards goal. Saved down low once more by Donaldson. And Andrew Skinner, who might fancy it here, although forward comes Gordy Morrison and is told to stay away from Daci Kushnashvili. He's been on free kick duty all night as Gordy Morrison. Someone else's turn. Up steps Daci Kushnashvili. It's not a bad effort from that distance. Lang to Kushner's-Vili. Good ball inside. Martin Callum's continued his run, and Martin Callum! It is the full-time whistle from the referee Graham Elder. Goals from Martin Lang, Martin Callum, Paul Brindle and Struan Scott-Woodhouse meant it was a stroll at Grant Street Park for Clachnacuddin. Full-time score, Clachnacuddin 4, Fort William 0.
We've got to be happy with that. I thought we created a lot of chances tonight. I thought we were quite wasteful in front of goals, especially in the second half, but I thought the tempo and the pace we started the game at and the chances created in the first half were decent, and I think we deserved to be 3-0 up, and it's hard to motivate them after that. In the second half we stopped doing the things sharply that we were doing and maybe attached too many and sort of let the game fizzle out.
Danny, the first goal was a bit of a killer for you.
Yep, it was a bad mistake with the goalkeeper. It took us maybe 10 or 12 minutes or something to recover from that. I felt we were slowly starting to come back into the game. We had a few, Ian McLean had a couple of wee half chances there, which would have given us a bit of a lift. We didn't take them, so we paid the price for that later on, I think. Late on, second goal, obviously killed us off, second and third goals just before half time. I said to them at half time, let's see if we can do a damage limitation in the second half, just so it's easier for us to recover come Saturday. And I felt we'd done reasonably well defensively. And then of course we lost the goal near the end. No real complaints about the sending off. The sort of conditions didn't allow for a good game of football anyhow. It was always going to be a lot of tackles going in because of the conditions and weather. And I think we picked up a few bookings too. So disappointing night, but we've got a big game for us on Saturday against Keith.
The game was dead and buried then, and I don't think they've had a shot in the second half, whereas we've had 7-8 shots in the second half. I think we counted. So as I say, the disappointment is that we were quite wasteful in front of goal.
We were pretty dominant in that right hand side, and it's probably the one good ball we put in all night, and I managed to get on the end of it. So, on Saturday we got beat 3-0. We didn't have many chances, so I think we might have been a wee bit rusty in front of goal. But I think it'll come. We've got a few more games midweek as well, so fingers crossed it'll come. It's still a bit of match sharpness to get in, but yeah, it's been good. Looking forward to it.
Good, well done. Well played.
Cheers, thanks very much.
Clach are a good strong side. They're probably the form side in the league at the moment. If you excluding the result they got against Brore on Saturday, going to places like Locos and Devonvale and winning. So we expected a really difficult game. There's a good squad of players. We've made a lot of progress this year. The new board and directors come on board off the park. We're trying to do that on the pitch. It's not as easy to do that, especially where we are. We know that we've got limited resources, a limited catchment area for players. So it's an ongoing thing with us. Progress will be probably judged if we get off the bottom of the league this season. And like I say, Saturday's game against Keith is a massive game for us.
Big game on Saturday against Wick.
Yeah.
Strong team.
Yeah, they've been there for the last 2-3 seasons. They've got a bit of continuity about them, both on and off the park, and a strong team and a difficult place to go. No matter who's in charge. Gordon Collins just taking the reins over, but as I say, the continuity's been there with Titchy Hughes, etc. So, we've got to make sure we go up there and compete and not be in awe of them like we were at Brore on Saturday.
Well done, lads.
Clach captain Michael Finnis receives the trophy in memory of the former Fort William and Clach player Simon Shields.